Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Neda Reads. I'm Neda and this is a very late November wrap up. So in the month of November, I finished 4 books and started one but didn't actually finish it in November, and I finished in December. So I will talk about that one in my December wrap up, or if I do a review of that one. So the first book that I read in November was The Hexologists by Josiah Bancroft. This is about a couple who are basically they're called hexologists. They are the mystery crime kind of like solver people who take on the weird jobs, and they try to figure out who hexed who, basically. And yeah, they are very good at their job. At the beginning of this book, they get hired by one of the royal's people, and they have to figure out if the king is hexed or not. Basically, that goes from there. It is a character-driven book, the same way as all the other books that Josiah Bancroft writes. It's written very much like the series of Selma Sense, and it's literally just the same kind of concept except in mystery. So, I mean, if you like that kind of thing, it's just felt like he was doing the same thing over, just trying to make this different magical system, but it's exactly the same story in my point of view. But it's all right. And yeah, I think it was fine. I just didn't found that it was any different from the other books that I read from him, and I felt like he was just rewriting the same thing over in my point of view. But it might be fun for other people. It's just the plot went very slow. We find all these different characters, side characters. There's too many side characters, yet this is a character-driven book. I mean, couldn't it just be part of the plot and less other characters jumping in? Anyways, yeah, I gave this one a 3. Just to let you know, all the 4 books that I read that in November were all 3 rated books for me. They were all like meh. So that's probably why I'm lingering this wrap up for so long. Yeah, the second book that I read in November was Getting the Night. This is about necromancy and an empire that is very much reliant on necromancy, and there are different sections of these necromancers. And so Gideon is one of the ones who is picked. It was basically like a chosen one kind of thing. And it is character driven and the plot goes fast, but it's just, you're dealing with Gideon all the time. Gideon is this angry 18-year-old who is like, she hates the world. So it's very downer to read this book. I was not very interested in Gideon, and I found her very angry for no reason at some parts. It's just, okay, I get it. You're an orphan. You're mad at the people who are raising you. But come on, you can't just be mad at every single person around you. Anyways, yeah, this one was not for me either. And then the third book that I finished in the month of November, it was A Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I went into this thinking that this is like a fairy tale-esque and like the same kind of vibe as the other book that I read from T. Kingfisher. It was like Wizard's Guides of Baking or something like that. Last year, I think I read that one, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be, there'll be some funny parts into it and stuff like that. No, this is very dark. This is just dark, and it is fairy tale-esque, but it's more about women and what they go through, and there's a lot of graphic childbirth scenes in this, so go into it knowing that. It's also very character driven. The plot goes very slow in this one. Yeah, you see why I only finished 4 books. They were all so slow. Like, character driven, yet the plot was going yeah, sorry. And then the last one I finished was The Coward by Stephen Aryan. Finally, after 6 months, I picked it up in July. So yeah, I finished this one. It was good. This one was good. I give it a 3 only because it lingered at a certain point, and I felt like it should have, like, the first half was very slow, and then the second half picks up, and it's the character building, character development, and the world building, and all those other things, like the creatures and all that, like, those were very creative and very interesting. But the beginning of it, like the first 50% of it, was very slow because we're trying to just understand why he is reluctant. It's a reluctant hero story, basically. He's not really a coward. He just doesn't want to go for a second time to the north and trying to kill the same monster, basically. And it's just, it was very slow. We got too much of how he's reluctant, so much reluctance, and then halfway through, then it just goes whoosh. We are needing to go to the north, must go to the north, must get there. It was just like, okay, this is just what? The pacing of this did not work for me. It was a good idea. Like, I, as I said, I like the creatures and I like the like journey stuff that happened in the actual journey when he was actually going. And like the characters, and they're very like interesting characters, but just very slow at the beginning. And yeah, so those were the 4 that I actually finished. I was going to finish She Who Becomes the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. That one, I was, by the time at the end of November came, I was halfway through that one. So I finished that one the first week of December. Like, I think I finished it on December 5th or something. So I will talk about that one later. But yeah, I finished in November. I finished The Exologist, finished the Gideon the Knight, Nettle and Bone, and The Coward. So those were the 4 books that I read. And I'm sorry this is very late. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books. What did you think of them? And thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.